Hey, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. This is a quick video about how to check library items out to people on the Roanoke College campus. When you think about what it means to check things out, what do you think of? You think of a scanner and library books and that kind of thing, right? That's great because those things are definitely involved. But what other things come into play? Of course, there's the material in the library that we need to know something about. And there's also a software system that you're going to learn, and there's the part about how to interact with people that you might not otherwise have occasion to talk to. And then there's also that thing called customer service, right? We always hear about customer service, but we rarely hear about what's called customer experience. Over time, as you work at the library, we're going to talk more about customer experience, but for now, it's probably enough to know that because of the way that we think about customer experience, the library is known for having this brand of service that makes people enjoy being there. And you are going to help us keep that going. Customer experience is the difference between having a person feel resentful or maybe feel confused, like this young lady, or feeling perfectly pleased and really happy when they step in the library. Another way for you to think about this is to understand that when you work at the lending services desk, you're the first person that a visitor sees when they walk into the building, and you're the last person they see before they leave the building. The first impression and the last impression, so that's a lot of influence you have. All right, now let's talk about the details of how to actually check something out to someone. What do you actually do? All right, for starters, it's worth knowing that the setup at the library looks like this. You're over here on the left and they're over there on the right at the self-checkout station. That's significant distance and protective measures in place to assure that everyone's comfortable in this contactless interaction. Now, let's look at it from their perspective. All they see is this scanner. What are they supposed to do with it? How's it supposed to work? Well, that's where you come in. Let's have a look at this scenario and we can decide if this is the best way to help someone. Here we have an employee sitting down in a chair. They haven't noticed the person who wants to borrow items, and they're just not very helpful, are they? So yeah, that's not what we're going for at all. Quite the opposite, actually. All right, now how about we look at this, which is closer to the right way to do things. For one thing, notice that the library staff person is not sitting down. He gets it. We're not trying to look cool. We're trying to be sincere about the customer experience. You also notice that he's using words and body language to walk the borrower through the process of checking items out at the self-checkout station. Pretty simple stuff. It's just the way we all want to be treated. We try to do things right, and we feel good about it, just like this guy. Now, so you're probably wondering about what it is that we do in the system itself, and that's where we're going next. So please pay attention, because if you understand the concept of what I'm about to show you, it's going to be much easier for you to grasp during your first days on the job. Now, this is what it looks like when you log into the system. And once you're logged in, you want to be in an area called fulfillment, and you can think of fulfillment as meaning fulfilling library users' requests. There's a couple of ways of getting into the fulfillment area, and I'll show you more about that when we train in person. But under fulfillment, you want to be in this place called Manage Patron Services. And that just means that when the next person walks up to check something out, you are ready to help. So now that here comes your first person, what do you do? Well, you already have good ideas on customer experience, so let's now look at keeping that going while being in the system. So you'll start by not being in a chair, and then you'll greet the person at the self-checkout station. It's important to greet them before they greet you. Treat it like a game or a challenge. If they say hello to you before you can say it to them, you need to up your game. Then you ask them if they're ready to check out, and if the answer is yes, your next question is how many items they'll be checking out. Make sure to pay attention to their answer so that when they give you that answer, you can compare to what's about to happen on your screen. Now, back to that screen, it's time to ask them to scan their maroon card. Here is the scanning of the maroon card, and you see that went well. You got that? All right, now, then you ask them to scan their first book, their second book, and the same, and you're confirming for them as they're doing it that it's going well. Once they're completely done, look at this last step. You see right here where it says loan receipt? You want to click on that. This is critical to do because it helps us to not have to stamp due dates in every one of their books. Instead, it will send them a receipt. You can see the receipt right here just got sent to me. You're still going to tell them what their due dates are for the various items, but clicking on that really seals the deal. And then at the end, as you see here, you're going to click on the word done in the upper right corner. Now, I want to take a second to emphasize this word done in the upper right corner, because what would happen if you didn't click on it? Can you imagine the next person in line scanning their books without your clearing the last person's record? That would be a huge problem. You'd be checking out person B's items to person A, and that's no small thing. So be sure to let me know if this is unclear. All right, now let's pull it all together. First, we greet our visitor while standing. Remember to greet them first, and then we want to ask them how many items they're checking out. After that, we ask them to scan their maroon card. We confirm for them that the maroon card scanned successfully, and then we continue to check to scan their items, confirming each one. We then tell them how many items were just checked out, and we tell them the due dates. And then we finish by, of course, hitting that loan receipt button and telling them that the receipt has been emailed. And that's it. Now you know how to check out a book when you're working at the library. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this. And I'm going to leave you with a little bit of a reward. I'm going to call this Kitty Karma. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, let's talk when you come into work, or feel free to email me. And I'll see you soon.